There comes a moment in life when you realize the only voice that has ever truly held you back is the one echoing inside your own mind. And if that voice can tear you down, imagine what it could do if you taught it to lift you up. For years, many of us speak defeat before we ever take a step. We say, I can't, and then we wonder why life closes its doors. We whisper, I'm not enough, and then we watch opportunities walk by. Confidence isn't missing. It's buried under every negative word we've rehearsed like a script. But here's the truth. When you change your words, you change your worth. In just 3 days, you can reboot the confidence you thought was gone. Day 1, rewrite your inner story. Day 2, speak with authority, not apology. Day 3, align your voice with action and watch life rise to the sound of your new identity. Because when you talk yourself rich, you don't just build wealth, you build the version of you that was waiting to break free. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize the loudest enemy they've ever faced wasn't a critic, a competitor, or a circumstance. It was their own voice. That quiet whisper that says, you're not ready, you're not worthy, you're not enough. And the tragedy is not that we hear it, but that we start to believe it. We speak defeat and then wonder why success doesn't answer. We speak fear and then wonder why courage never shows up. But what if the very thing keeping you broke, stuck, or unseen is simply the story you keep repeating? For the next 3 days, I want you to imagine something powerful. What if your voice became your greatest investment? What if confidence wasn't a feeling you wait for, but a skill you activate? You can rewrite the script of your life the same way you'd rewrite a speech. You can delete the lines that no longer serve you and speak new words that open new futures. Day 1 is about reprogramming that inner dialogue. Every time your mind says, I can't, you answer with watch me. Every time doubt rises, you respond with authority instead of apology. When you speak differently, you think differently. And when you think differently, you act differently. On day 2, you begin to carry your voice like it's currency, because it is. Your tone becomes a declaration. Your words become a signal to your future. You stop whispering your dreams and start announcing them with the energy of someone who expects to win. Confidence is not arrogance, it's alignment. It's the sound of a person who finally believes in their own value. And by day 3, everything begins to shift. Your actions catch up to your identity. Your decisions reflect your new vision. You speak with clarity, you move with purpose, and you stop negotiating with your old limitations. Opportunities that once passed you by now pause, because you are no longer the same. You're no longer speaking from who you were. You're speaking from who you were created to become. Your mouth is a magnet. What you speak, you attract. What you declare, you draw near. If you speak scarcity, you'll live small. But if you speak abundance, if you speak courage, if you speak vision, your life expands to match your language. Talk yourself rich, not just in money, but in confidence, purpose, and destiny. The world rises to the sound of your voice when you finally learn to use it. The words you speak create the world you live in, whether you realize it or not. Every sentence you release is a seed planted in the soil of your future. Most people speak casually, carelessly, like their words disappear the moment they're spoken, but they don't. Words echo, words build, words break, words attract. Every time you open your mouth, you're either constructing a life of possibility or reinforcing a prison of limitation. And the most dangerous part is this: you will always live in the reality you speak the most often. If you constantly say, I'm tired, I'm broke, nothing ever works for me, your subconscious accepts that statement as law. It adjusts your decisions, your confidence, your energy to match the story you've declared. But when you begin to speak differently, even before you feel different, your mind starts searching for ways to make your new words true. That's the power you carry. You can talk yourself into fear, or you can talk yourself into courage. You can talk yourself into excuses, or you can talk yourself into action. Your words are steering the direction of your life like a compass, pointing you toward the reality you believe you deserve. Think about it. Every breakthrough started as a belief, and every belief began as a word. People don't rise because their circumstances changed. They rise because their language changed. A person who speaks about opportunity sees opportunities. A person who speaks about problems only notices problems. When you call yourself capable, your mind starts finding proof. When you call yourself blessed, you start noticing blessings. When you call yourself a winner, you begin to walk, think, and move like one. Your voice is the architect of your destiny. Speak life and you will find life. Speak abundance and abundance finds you. Speak confidence and you start carrying yourself in a way that draws respect, resources, and results. The world does not shape your words shape your world. So guard what you say, because you are prophesying your own future every time you open your mouth. The moment you choose to speak in alignment with the person you want to become, your world begins to shift toward that identity. Change your language and your life will rise to meet it. Confidence is not something you're born with or something only certain people get to have. It's a skill, a muscle, a practice. Most people think confidence is a personality trait like eye color or height, fixed and unchangeable. But confidence grows from repetition, from action, from choosing to show up even when you don't feel ready. It's built in the moments you push past fear, not the moments you avoid it. Confidence is earned by doing the things that scare you until they no longer have power over you. When you see someone who walks into a room with authority, speaks with certainty, or carries themselves like they belong everywhere they go, you're not seeing a gift. They practice that. They practice saying yes to challenges instead of shrinking from them. They practice speaking up rather than staying quiet. They practice trusting their abilities even before they had proof. Confidence grows from the inside out, one small act of courage at a time. Just like going to the gym, the more you use your confidence, the stronger it becomes. And just like muscle, if you don't use it, it weakens. Every time you avoid a difficult conversation, a new opportunity, or a bold decision, you train your mind to retreat. But every time you step forward, even trembling, you train your spirit to rise. You don't need to feel confident to take action. Action is what creates confidence. You don't need to wait until you're perfect to begin. Beginning is what makes you better. Confidence isn't magic, it's mastery. It's the outcome of practicing bravery in small moments until bravery becomes your default. When you treat confidence like a skill rather than a personality type, you stop saying, I'm just not confident, and start saying, I'm becoming confident. And the beautiful truth is this: anyone can practice it, anyone can grow it, and anyone can own it. Confidence belongs to those who decide to build it. Day one is about confronting the quiet voice inside you, the one that has been shaping your entire life without your permission. Your inner dialogue is the script your mind rehearses every day, and most of the time, it's running on old programming. Maybe someone told you you weren't smart enough, talented enough, worthy enough. Maybe you failed once and repeated that failure in your mind until it became part of your identity. Day one is where you stop letting your past write your future. It's where you silence the voice that shrinks you and give volume to the voice that strengthens you. Reprogramming your inner dialogue doesn't start with shouting affirmations you don't believe. It starts with awareness. You have to notice the negative loops playing in your mind. The quiet, I'm not enough. The subtle, I always mess things up. The whisper, people like me don't succeed. These thoughts may feel harmless, but they are powerful because they operate beneath the surface, influencing every choice you make. On day one, you bring them into the light. You challenge them. You replace them. You begin by asking yourself a simple but transformational question: who told me that? Who told you that you couldn't? Who told you that you weren't worthy? Who told you that success wasn't for people like you? When you trace these beliefs back to their source, you realize most of them came from fear, either yours or someone else's, not from truth. And once you recognize that, you can begin rewriting your inner script. Day one is where you tell your mind a new story. You start replacing self-limiting language with self-expanding language. Instead of I can't, you say I'm learning. Instead of I'm not good enough, you say I'm growing into the person I need to become. Instead of this is impossible, you say this is preparing me for something bigger. Every new statement you speak is a code you plant into your subconscious, and your subconscious begins working to make that code real. This isn't about pretending your challenges don't exist. It's about refusing to let them define you. When you reprogram your inner dialogue, you stop negotiating with your doubts and start aligning with your potential. You stop speaking from your wounds and start speaking from your wisdom. Day one is the foundation of the entire reboot, Because once your inner voice changes, your outer world has no choice but to follow. Day 2 is where you shift from whispering your worth to declaring it. This is the moment you stop asking for permission to exist, to grow, to succeed. Speaking with authority doesn't mean being loud or aggressive. It means speaking from a place of certainty, clarity, and conviction. When you speak with authority, your words carry weight because they come from someone who knows who they are and where they're going. Too many people shrink their voice to make others comfortable, apologize for having dreams, or soften their greatness so they don't stand out. But day 2 is where that ends. When you speak with apology, you're sending a signal to the world that you doubt yourself, and the world responds to whatever signal you send. If you speak like you're unsure, opportunities treat you like you're optional. If you speak like you're unworthy, people treat you like you're replaceable. But when you speak with authority, calm, confident, grounded authority, doors open that once felt locked. People listen differently. You listen to yourself differently. Your words stop being sounds and start becoming statements of identity. Authority isn't about controlling others. It's about controlling your presence. It's standing in your truth without shrinking. It's declaring your goals without apologizing for wanting more. It's owning your message, your voice, your ideas. Many people wait to feel confident before they speak boldly, but the truth is the opposite. Bold speaking creates confidence. Authority is a posture long before it becomes a feeling. On day 2, you begin eliminating the language, apology. You stop starting sentences with, "This might sound stupid," or "I'm sorry," but you stop talking like your ideas are inconveniences. You stop diluting your voice. Instead, you speak directly. You speak with intention. You speak from vision, not hesitation. Your tone becomes steady. Your message becomes clear. Your presence becomes undeniable. And the moment you begin speaking with authority, you activate a new version of yourself, one that expects success instead of hoping for it, one that walks into rooms knowing they belong there, one that draws respect because they give respect to their own voice first. Day 2 is where you stop apologizing for what you carry and start announcing it. It's where your words stop being timid wishes and start becoming powerful declarations. Day 3 is the moment everything you've spoken, declared, and reprogrammed becomes real through action. It's easy to talk about transformation, but talking alone won't change your life. Alignment will. This day is about making sure your footsteps match your words, because nothing creates momentum faster than integrity with yourself. When your voice says one thing, but your actions do another, you create internal conflict. But when your actions reinforce your declarations, you create internal power. Day 3 is where your identity, your language, and your decisions finally move in the same direction. This alignment doesn't start with massive, dramatic steps. It starts with intentional consistency. If you've spoken abundance, your actions must reflect someone who expects growth. If you've declared confidence, your actions must reflect someone who walks into opportunities instead of running from them. If you've spoken purpose, your daily habits must reflect someone who honors their calling. Alignment is the bridge between who you said you would be and who you actually become. On day 3, you be. Jin asking yourself, does this action support the future I'm creating? If the answer is no, you shift, you adjust, you choose differently. Every aligned action, no matter how small, sends a signal to your subconscious, this is who we are now. And your subconscious will begin reshaping your behavior, your posture, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny to match that identity. Aligning your voice with your actions also means eliminating the behaviors that contradict your goals. You stop speaking confidence but procrastinating on your dreams. You stop declaring greatness but settling for comfort. You stop saying you want change while repeating the same patterns. This is the day where excuses die and execution begins. And as you align what you say with what you do, something extraordinary happens. You become magnetic. Opportunities start finding you. People start trusting you. Your results start multiplying. Not because you're lucky, but because you become someone whose actions carry the same authority as their words. Day 3 is where you shift from wishing to walking, from declaring to demonstrating. It's where your voice becomes your roadmap and your actions become the vehicle that takes you exactly where you are meant to go. Your mouth is a magnet, constantly pulling experiences, opportunities, and outcomes toward you based on the words you release. Every statement you make carries energy, either attracting what you desire or repelling what you dream of. Most people speak without realizing they're setting spiritual and psychological forces into motion. They talk about lack, and lack follows them. They talk about fear, and fear multiplies. They talk about being stuck, and life gives them more reasons to stay stuck. But the moment you begin to speak intentionally, your entire reality begins to shift toward the direction of your declarations. Think of every word as a command your subconscious mind takes literally. When you say, "I'm always broke," your mind aligns your behaviors to maintain that pattern. When you say, "Nothing ever works for me," your mind filters out opportunities because it believes they don't belong to you. But when you speak abundance, confidence, and possibility, your mind starts searching for evidence to match those words. It's not magic, it's alignment. Your thoughts shape your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior attracts the results your words predicted. Your mouth is a magnet because language creates expectation, and expectation pulls your future towards you. When you speak like someone who knows success is coming, you begin to move like someone who is prepared for it. When you speak like someone who is favored, blessed, and expanding, you start noticing doors that were always there, but invisible to the version of you that spoke defeat. The universe, your subconscious, your decisions, and your environment all respond to your vocabulary. That's why you must speak what you want, not what you fear. You must speak where you're going, not where you've been. You must speak from the identity of the person you're becoming, not the limitations of who you used to be. Every time you open your mouth, you're either inviting greatness in or locking it out. The moment you understand that your words are not descriptions but invitations, you start speaking with a new level of intention. So speak life, and life will rise to meet your voice. Speak abundance, and abundance will begin to recognize you. Speak confidence, and you will draw opportunities that require a confident version of yourself. Speak the language of success long enough, and success has no choice but to find its way to your door. Your mouth is a magnet, so choose carefully what you allow it to pull into your world. As we come to the close of this journey, remember this: transformation doesn't begin in your circumstances, it begins in your voice. The words you speak create the world you live in. Confidence is not reserved for a chosen few. It is built, shaped, and strengthened through daily practice. On day one, you learned to rewrite the inner script that had been limiting your greatness. On day two, you stepped into the power of speaking with authority, not apology. On day three, you aligned your voice with your actions so your life could finally rise to match your declarations. And through it all, you discovered that your mouth is a magnet, pulling in whatever you consistently speak. You are not waiting for permission to become who you were meant to be. You are giving yourself permission with every bold word you release. You are not waiting for confidence to show up. You are creating it with every courageous decision you make. And you are not hoping for a better future. You are speaking it into existence, one intentional declaration at a time. From this moment forward, guard your language like the treasure it is. Speak only what strengthens you, what expands you, what aligns with the life you're building. Let your words be the soundtrack of your transformation and the fuel of your destiny. If you change your voice, you will change your future. If you talk yourself rich in faith, confidence, purpose, and vision, the world will eventually have no choice but to reflect the richness you carry inside. This isn't the end, it's your beginning. Now step into the life you've declared.